So Pete, since the last time we spoke, um, let's see. Joseph Carmine Testa, age 69 years old, release date April 30th, 2024. Currently located at FCI Terminal Island. So we first spoke, Pete, episode 1, I believe we covered we you had the news that Anthony was getting out. Now, just a short time later, Joseph Testa is getting out, one half of the Gemini twins, of what people call the Gemini twins, and I'm going to ask you about that also, Pete. Would you like to make a comment on that, Pete?
Yes, I would. I feel that Joey is a great guy. You know what I mean? He really is. Uh, I've never seen him do anything bad, but that doesn't mean, in this world that didn't happen. But I know Joey's the type of guy he deserves to come home. He's got a family, and I'm so blessed that he is. I'm sure he loves his family. Can't wait to get there. And I'm almost positive in my heart that he will do nothing wrong again, or even be accused of anything wrong, which he's been accused many times, and they were wrong. They wrong when they accused him. I hope they just leave him alone and let him live his life. Joey, I haven't seen you in forever. The last time I see you was in Terre Haute when I was in holdover, and you came down and said hello. God bless you, Joe. I'm glad you're home. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're going to be back with your family. I haven't seen you in forever. The last time I see you was in Terre Haute when I was in holdover, and you came down and said hello. God bless you, Joe. I'm glad you're home. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're going to be back with your family.
And so you were in Terre Haute. You said you were in hold. You were in hold.
Yeah, I was being transferred, from till I got to where was it? I forgot what the hell I was saying. Oh, Bluntstown. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Bluntstown. I forgot which one they were sending it to, but anyhow, like the judge told us, he sentenced us all to different prisons. Right? They said you'll never see each other again. So, every time you get to a prison, usually lay overnight, 2 days maybe before you get on a bus and continue on. And I'm laying in my cell down there, with nothing. And I hear this voice at the end of the corridor. He's yelling. And I'm saying, what the fuck? I says, sounds familiar. He tells the turnkey, open the gate. The guy opens the gate. Who comes walking down the corridor? Nothing but Joey. It was like fucking, it was really, really a great feeling. It brought me some commissary.
What year was that, Pete? Was that after you were sentenced?
Oh yeah.
No, I mean, but like right after or years later?
No, years after, because I got sentenced in 80. I think it was 87.
Right.
He didn't get sentenced till after 92. So yeah,
89. I think that he got sentenced.
89.
Yeah, that's when it ended.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah, no, it's been a minute then since I've seen him. It was strutting down there like a peacock. Hey,
yeah, wow.
I said, holy shit, man.
So it'd been years since you saw him, and you happened to run into him.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting, Pete. Did you guys get to talking at all, or?
Yeah, a little bit. How you doing? Is there anything I can help you with while you're here? This holdover. I said, just seeing you, Joey, is enough. You know what I mean? Just seeing that these guys are okay makes me feel wonderful. You got to remember, whatever they say, we were as a crew. I still loved each other as friends. You know what I mean? People that we socialized together. Whatever happened on that side of the fence was one thing. On this side, we were like, friends. We laughed, we kid around, barbecues, things like that. So it was great to see him.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that's got to be surreal, man. To run into one of your friends from the street like that.
It was amazing. Yeah, it really was.
So I want to ask you something else, Pete. So I was going back and I was looking at like some of the stuff that they were reporting in the 80s during some of the trials when all you guys were indicted and you were in the trial. I was looking back at some of those news article stuff, Pete, and I was looking at some FBI files and records and stuff like that. And I found no reference to the term Gemini twins at all from that time period. And then I started looking, all right, Murder Machine comes out, and then I started seeing some of the articles in the 90s of that term, Gemini twins. Can you explain to me where that comes from, Pete?
Well, First of all, you got the Gemini bar. Okay, I believe that was part of it. But
Right.
they were like stuck together, like at the hip. You know what I mean? Wherever they went, they usually went together. Went out together, went for drinks together. Whatever they did together, basically. You know what I mean? They were very, very close. They grew up very, very close. So when they got that, they just said, "Wow, it's like a logo, the twins." Just like with John Gotti, the Teflon Dom.
Right.
You never
I
heard
guess what
call.
I'm saying, Pete, is that something that was made up on the street, or is that something that like Jerry Capisi made up, or something like that? Was that
Yeah,
something you would have heard? Like, oh, like there's Joey and Anthony, the Gemini twins. Is that what people are saying on the streets of Canarsie?
no, that all came about after the articles and stuff. It was not like they were in the street and they said, "It is Anthony Joe, it is Gemini twins."
Right,
No,
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay.
no, they were individuals. Trust
I
me.
just want to. All right. I just want to clear that up because I'm sure people have wondered about that. So that's just that's like you say, Teflon Don. That's just a creation from the press, from
Correct.
Jerry Capisi or whoever these people are.
It's an eye catcher, you know what I mean? You say, "Wow,
Okay.
who's it?" Who that? You know what I mean?
Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So you were in prison at this time, but have you ever heard that around 1992, the DeMeo crew appeared on the program A Current Affair? Did you ever hear about that?
I heard about it. Yes, I never seen it though. I didn't have the opportunity because they didn't
Do you
really
want
put
to
it
see
on.
it?
Someday, yeah, you want to show it to me someday? I'd be more glad to look at it.
Do you want to see it right now, or
You want to show it to me? I just seen a movie the other day that somebody told me about. It was crazy. It was all about the Gemini
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I can't even remember the name of the movie. Had Harvey, had all of them, Roy.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I never seen
But
this movie.
we'll talk about that movie on the phone someday, Pete.
Okay. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
It's one of those. It's one of
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Came out of nowhere. But yeah.
Right. So do you want to see this?
You want to show it to me? Yeah.
I do. I would have show it to you. I edited a little bit together, and I would like you to watch it. So I'm going to put it on the screen now. I'm going to put it on the screen now, okay? Here we go.
Land slaughterhouse. Not one walked out.
But if John Gotti is a good man, then these guys were definitely bad.
These were the four most ruthless guys in the crew. And Chris used to kill in his underwear.
Right. He was the one who would jump out in his underwear and stab him in the heart. Didn't want to get his clothes dirty.
Jerry Capisi and his partner Gene Mustaine have chronicled Gotti's life in the Gambino family. Now they're writing a book about the Roy DeMeo crew, a Gambino gang that operated behind this Brooklyn bar until 1983, a gang that scared even John Gotti. Over a 10-year period, officials estimate the gang killed up to 200 people. Their meeting place was known as the Horror Hotel.
This is the Horror Hotel. This was the place where the DeMeo crew chopped up the bodies of their murder victims and packaged them and shipped them off to the dump. They disposed of a couple of dozen bodies here.
The Horror Hotel?
Horror Hotel, right.
Check in.
Never get out, that's right.
This woman still goes to the bar and remembers the crew.
Does this woman look familiar to you, Pete?
I'm trying to think. I mean, she had to be much younger. I don't know.
I'll
I don't
keep
even know
playing.
if you. I knew Linda. That was the waitress behind the bar. I knew a few of them, but
Okay. There's another woman that comes up too. So let's see. It's almost done. We'll
Came
see.
in, I saw them, and out of respect, you say hello. Doesn't mean you're going to sit down and get into a conversation and say, okay, who'd you kill next door?
People came in, they were shot in the head,
Yeah.
and then they were stabbed in the chest, and then dragged into the shower. All the blood was drained, and then they had a pool liner on my living room floor. Their bodies were cut up and then disposed of.
Most of the DeMeo crew is now dead or in jail.
That's a
What was
woman.
her
I think her name is Debbie Doyle.
oh yeah.
You know Debbie?
I don't know her personally. I know of her. Yeah.
You know of her. Okay.
Yeah.
The Horror Hotel is now just an apartment where Debbie Doyle lived.
It's just like living anywhere else. It just bothered me the first night when I read about it in the paper.
What bothered you?
All the blood that went down the drain from the bodies. I kind of felt eerie when I took a shower. But otherwise than that, it really didn't bother me because I feel when people are dead, you're dead.
Nice place to live now?
Yeah, it's the rent is cheap. Can't beat it.
In time, they became sort of the mafia's execution squad.
This was methodical murder, dismemberment, just like you and I go to work, these guys would go to work and chop bodies up.
I mean, I can't conceive of it. I can't conceive of someone doing this so cold-bloodedly, so methodically, and so calculatingly, and not having nightmares and not wanting to run away from it.
To hang out with Roy and Joey and Anthony, Henry, Paulie Pinto, Chris, Pedro, these were not like the norm in the life.
What do you think about that when you watch that, Pete?
What?
What do you think about that when you watch that?
Well, first of all, I shouldn't have bothered that lady because she was upstairs. All the blood was downstairs. She never had to go to her drain. No, I'm kidding. But no, they told the story where they heard it. I mean, I'm sure none of them seen it, so they're going on what other people say again. And as I said, other people have a way of making it more than what it was because, like you put a couple of kids on a bench, you whisper in one ear, by the time it gets the other way, Santa Claus is a hooker, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Okay.
But, would I say that that's all true? I wouldn't say. So,
Okay.
We'll have
Yeah, you
feelings
wouldn't
on it,
ban
but, just remember this. You read it in the book, you heard it from the government. Now, if I tell you how many times that government should been stopped for perjury on what they did, what they said during my own trial, I can name them. But yet,